So thank you so much for jumping on. Let me know, someone in the chat, if my internet's kind of acting funky. Nobody is in my house right now, pretty much, so nobody's online, so hopefully this works well. Okay, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to dive into Emerald, the how, the why, and kind of just getting there and what you need and the tools that you need to get there. So Emerald's so important in your business. Like, it's a must. It's kind of like if I were to tell you, okay, I'll give you $500 if you find 2 people today or tomorrow or within the next week to help you get to Emerald, because it's 2 people, 1 on each leg, and it's 2 people who either want a discount, want to build a business, want to get in the best shape of their life. Like, it could be for any reason, and it's basically anybody who says yes to you is somebody who we want to go ahead with the consultation that we're having, because a conversation is basically a consultation in trying to help them understand why this is right for them. And then we're helping them to see that the discount option is the right way to go long term, because I like to tell people that you don't just want to do this for a month. Like, this isn't this, and I'm just honest with people, this isn't like okay, I'm just going to try it and see if this works for a month. And if it doesn't, then I'm going to just stop. Because guess what? It's going to work. If you do the work, it's going to work. If you stick with it, it's going to work. So it's not a matter of is this going to work, right? And you want to make it a lifestyle change. And so you want to go into this having the mindset. So it's important that you share with people that you're talking to, I totally understand how you feel, because they might have an objection, because that's our job, is to come up with ways to combat their objections, right? So they're going to have an objection, and it's our job to say, I understand how you feel, but here's what I've found, and I've been doing this for X amount of time, and it's served me in this and that way, and I'm making this a big lifestyle change, and I'm, whatever. So it's good to kind of paint the picture for them, because you could totally give them an out and say, okay, you can just do it for a month, and if you don't like it, which is fine, because it's true, they can do it for a month, and if they don't like it, then fine. But we want them to go into this with the mindset of this takes more than 1 month to get to your results. You're part of a community. You're part of something bigger than just 1 month. Okay. So back to me saying, if I were to tell you, I'll give you $500 out of my pocket if you were to find 2 people who want to build this business with you or get a discount, and you have 48 hours or 24 hours to do it, would that be an incentive for you to do it? It should, right? And isn't that going to drive you to do it? Because you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I could get $500 plus I could sign 2 people, and I know that that's $100 commission, and then I've hit my goal. But I'm not going to offer you $500. But my point is that if you want to build this business, then you should just make that happen. And you should just have that mindset of okay, I'm going to make this happen. And this is something I need to do, because in order to grow this business, and in order to get to my first rank and maximize my comp plan and be on my way to doing all of the things that I know that this business can do and that I personally want to do to help others, then I know that I need to make this happen. And so I want you guys to, first of all, believe that you can do this, and know that you're capable, and know that honestly, it's a numbers game. It's a timing game for people. It's not, I sent 30 invites and nobody wanted to join me. That's not even, we need to take our feelings out of the picture, because it's business cards that we're handing out, right? So I want to kind of tell you a little bit about why you need to go Emerald. So a couple things. So when I signed up as a coach, my first coach was my best friend, and then I signed my husband. So I knew I wanted to hit Emerald, and I did it in the first week that I was a coach. And I didn't do anything fancy. I had no idea what I was doing. I just know I knew I needed to get there. So when she said yes, my coach told me that I should enroll my husband, and I knew I wanted to build this business, and I knew I wanted to make an income. So I just did that. And then I hit Emerald, and the girl that I signed up is no longer a coach. She quit like forever ago. She actually did order a bag of Shakeology from me yesterday, but that's fine. Like, the people that kind of get you through these stepping stones are always going to stick, and that's okay. But guess what? We're looking for the people that are going to love this as much as we do, that want to work this, that fall in love with the products and the programs and stuff. So keep that in mind. But so a little bit about your spouse account. I encourage that, or I encourage you to sign up somebody that you can control. Maybe it's your mom's account, maybe it's a sibling, maybe it's somebody else. It's good to enroll somebody like that simply because you can get to your first rank and you can keep them active with an order. So like, I could so I had my husband and my friend, but then I signed another person, right? Maybe on the same leg as my husband. So I could technically let his account go, and I could only kind of use him for when I needed him to keep rank. And the important thing about this is that you start to team cycle bonus. So as you build this business, the beginning of your business, it's just going to be retail. That it's basically like you're going to make money based on what you sell. You guys know this. And then as you build the business, you're going to make money based on your team cycle bonus. At this point in my business, the bulk of my income comes from a team cycle bonus. It's not me selling. It's not me selling a bunch of Shakeology and selling a bunch of challenge packs and signing up a bunch of people. Yes, that is in my income, and it definitely contributes. When you're hitting Success Club and you're striving to get new people all the time, like, that's going to make a huge impact on your business and your income. But the bulk of my income comes from my team cycle bonus because of the way that I've built. So my suggestion is that you get there as fast as you can, and you just keep going, and you have the mindset of like, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to make it happen, and I'm going to send invites, and I'm going to do all the things, because I'm telling you, if you are doing all the vitals, so you're messaging people every single day, you're starting new conversations, you're keeping track of the conversations, you're following up, you're treating this like a business more than a hobby. And you can still hit Emerald being a hobby coach 100%. And if that's your jam, perfect. Like, you know your goals. Those just weren't my goals. I knew I wanted to move along. And depending on your income goal, and I want you all to have that written down, like, what's your income goal? What is it that would completely help you and change things for you each and every single week? Would it be $100 a week? Is it 200? Is it just, is it $50? And it's fine, because over a month's time, that's $200 a month, right? And that's groceries, or that's a car payment, or that's whatever it is to you. It contributes, and we all need that. So I want you to think about that. I want you to write it down. So we already know why we need to hit this, because in order to team cycle bonus, which I'll go into that in a minute. Because that's important, but I don't want to focus too much on that, because once you get to this goal, you're going to start to see this in your coach online office. You're going to start to see it, and you're going to start to realize how you need to build in order to get there. So back to the vitals. So we know that if we're sharing our story and we're posting every single day, and if you're not posting every single day, really dive into that, because it's a good habit to get into. It's good for people to see what you're doing. What is it that you're doing? And I shared this with a couple of my leaders today. I had a few one-on-ones today, and I said, I think something that changed my business in a huge way was the confidence factor. For so long, and I think that we're all like this. We struggle, right? As a new coach, you're like, but I'm not doing all the things, but I haven't signed a lot of people, but I haven't made X amount of income, but I haven't done this. So in order to feel successful, I feel like I can't share in the way that I really want to, because it's not the truth. And maybe that's not the right way to put it, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I felt like, since my ultimate goal was to be home, and I looked at Lindsay Gray, and she's always been like somebody I've looked up to, and she was able to leave her job a lot earlier than I was able to leave my job. And that doesn't matter, but that was someone who I looked to, like, man, okay, she did this, so I can do that. That's exactly what I want to do. And she did it. So I know I can make it happen, but I didn't take myself serious, or I struggled to take myself serious and look at myself as a leader and as somebody who supported others and as somebody who was a motivator until I got to that point of quitting my job. It's like I felt like I couldn't be confident enough. And that's so silly because that's so not true. We know that in order to be a coach, you don't have to be an expert. You literally are just a supporter, an encourager, somebody who's just building people up, right? And that's what we need. We all need that. It's not anything about every ingredient in Shakeology and everything about everything. I don't even talk about ingredients in Shakeology on a daily basis. Some of them are very important. And I do think that it's good to educate yourself 100% on our products so that you understand why they're so beneficial. But again, we don't need to be an expert. And so I want you guys to think about your confidence level, and I want you to try to look at yourself in a more confident way. Because if you believe that you're awesome and that you could build a business and that you can truly help people, because I'm telling you, you can. It's nothing fancy. It's just nothing besides being genuinely consistent every single day and showing up every single day. That's what's going to help you guys to show, like, let people see your confidence, because confidence is everything and it shines through on your posts. It's going to show people, because if people don't believe they can do it now, and so many people don't believe they can do this, they look at us and they're like, well, she's this or she's that, or this is easy for her because of whatever, but that's not the case. And so it's our job to show them that, guess what? I'm going to do this, like, whether or not I fail, whether or not I struggle, like, I'm going to continue to reach my goals no matter how much I fail, no matter how much, like, whatever. So I want you to think about that when you're posting. And because guess what? People see that. People are drawn to people who are not willing to give up and quit on something that they know will save them, that they know will reward them and create whatever it is that they want. So, as you post every single day, and I want you guys to kind of come up with some sort of a system. And I talked about this, and this isn't a complicated system at all. This is basically just a plan for your April. Like, come up with something every day, for example, I've decided every Thursday I've committed to myself to show up and do stories. And it's like my own little sneak peek about coaching in my stories. And it's just going to be about random stuff. Like today, I did it earlier, and it was about basically the fact that, like, if I didn't have this business, I would be in a financial stress situation. I wouldn't have an income. So I would be life would look very different for me right now. And so anyways, that was what my stories were about. And it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be about income. It could be about the community. It could be about the fact that you show up for yourself every single day. It could be about the fact that you have virtual workouts every morning all day, every day, that you're able to jump on if you want to. And, that's been so beneficial. That's been encouraging, or whatever. There's so much you can share. And it took me a long time to think that I could talk about coaching without having to feel that success, because it's not about that. It's about, again, helping people and just showing people that there's people out there that are a part of something bigger, and they're willing to help you no matter what. So you're going to be posting every single day. I want you to figure out, okay, what's my, like, Thursdays, I'm doing that sneak peek. Tuesdays, I'm doing a transformation every single Tuesday. I don't care. I'm doing a transformation of some sort in some way, whether it's mental, physical, whatever. So come up with something every day of the week. This will help you so that you're not throwing stuff at the wall, right? Because I've built part of my business throwing shit at the wall, because I was working full time and I was like trying to do all the things and build a business, and I didn't always have it planned out. So I suggest that you think about, okay, what can I share today that's of value? And maybe it's a recipe every single Wednesday, whatever it is. Okay. So show up more than you're showing up. because it's not that you're necessarily having to work harder. It's that you're showing up more for these people that are looking up to you, because believe it or not, people are looking up to you, whether or not you think they are. Okay, so I want to dig into Team Cycle bonus a little bit. So like I said, that becomes the bulk of your income. And as an Emerald coach, you make $14 Team Cycle bonus. So really quickly, and I can't, you'll have to ask your upline which leg is your weak leg and which leg is your strong leg. For some of you, it might not matter, but for some of you, it does matter. So basically, when you sign your first coach, it really doesn't matter where you put them. It depends. If it's your spouse account, write this down. I recommend, or if it's some account that you're controlling, a mom account, a sibling. Every time. I'm so sorry. And nobody's even on the internet. I was just about to yell at some people about being on the internet, but they're not even on the internet. Okay, I'm so sorry. So if you're signing up a sibling, whatever, spouse, okay, I want you to write this down. You are putting them on your weak leg. And again, I can't tell you based on who, because the leg that you're signed up underneath your upline coach, that's your strong leg. So if you're signed up under your coach's like left leg, then your left leg is your strong leg and your right leg's your weak leg. That means that your left leg, since it's strong, your coach is helping you build that, because every person she or he adds to that leg is giving you volume. And you have this right leg out here in the middle of nowhere that needs built. And that's where you come in. And that's where you will add people to that. So your spouse account goes on your weak leg. And the reason being, so my husband does not build the business. He's never hit but I build it for him. I've never hit diamond with his account yet. I've been very close, but now I'm kind of like, he might have 5 or 6 active coaches. Okay. Every single week with his account, I make about maybe $200 to $300 under his account. And I don't do anything with that account. That's just in that account. Okay. So I have a first business center and then I have a second business center, and I'm not going to go into all that, but that's just under his account. So the point is that it's a really good business move to sign up a spouse or somebody in the household that you can control. And again, like I said, say that you don't need them active anymore, because you don't need any product and whatever the case is, you don't always have to keep them active. It's kind of like for a while, they're just there. You're using that account, basically. I mean, we order enough product in my household that I can keep his account and my account active, no problem. So I recommend that, but I want to talk quickly about how you cycle, and you guys can ask questions, just throw them up in the chat. And I know that some of you have been coaches for a while and some of you are newer and whatever. So just bear with me, because I don't know, some of you know more than what I'm even talking about, and some of you don't. And so let me know if you have questions, but basically it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So like I said, if you're talking about a left, and it doesn't really matter, let's just say your left leg is your strong and your right is your weak, okay? It's a 2-to-1 ratio, meaning, so say you have 1,000 volume points on your strong leg. And that's because that comes from Shakeology, that comes from HD orders. Anybody who signs up anybody up there, because your coach is signing people. So like I said, anybody they sign, you're gaining volume. So they're helping you build this business. It's basically money sitting in, waiting to be pulled from, waiting to cycle, waiting to basically you're just I have a carryover volume, and we all do. And that's a whole nother thing, but I have money that's sitting there waiting for me in my strong leg, waiting for me to pull out of there from my weak leg so that I can cycle.
It's from that, but by and large, hell no.
okay, so let's say 2,000 because this is easier for my math skills. So you have 2,000 on your strong leg, and then you have 1,000 on your weak leg. Okay, that means that you're going to cycle 10 times at $14 a cycle, which is $140, because it's a 2-to-1 ratio. So don't ask me why this is. I didn't create this. I didn't make this up. This is just the way it is. So it pulls 200 from your strong leg, and it pulls 100 from your weak leg, and that's one cycle, and that pulls that, okay? So now we're left with 1,800 on your strong leg and 900 on your weak leg, right? Then you pull from it again. Every single week this happens. At the end of the week, you accumulate all this volume from Thursday morning until Wednesday night at 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. You accumulate this volume based on HD orders, based on what you sell, based on what your upline coach is doing, based on different things. Okay, we're not going to go into all that, but I want you to understand that if you were to have that amount, 2,000 on one leg and 1,000 on the other, you can only cycle 10 times because you can only pull 100 from the weak leg 10 times, and then it's gone. That would be a perfect balance. So that means that you're cycling 10 times at $14 every cycle, and that's $140. Does that make sense? So, and as you hit diamond, ruby's $16 a cycle and diamond's $18. Okay, so you can see how you would increase your cycle bonus. It never goes up from diamond. It never goes up from $18 a cycle. So hopefully that makes sense, but that's just to show you that could really add up based on discount coaches, because discount coaches create volume. Because when you sign up somebody, some people are like, well, I would make more money if they just ordered Shakeology from me as a customer versus as a coach. Yeah, but in the long run, not necessarily, because discount coaches turn into working coaches, etc. But the point is that every time a discount coach has a 90 PV order of Shakeology go through, that creates that volume, okay? And that's basically almost 100. So it's basically allowing you to almost cycle one time. Throw up questions in the chat if you guys have them. So basically, that's like Emerald in a nutshell. If you have a goal of hitting this within the next week or day or whatever your goal is, you need to set a goal. You need to set the goal, because in order to make this happen, you have to reverse engineer. Okay, so if I want to hit Emerald, and it should not be like July, you guys. It should not be like June. It shouldn't be May. Like, this is something you can do like by month's end, is like a very like long-term goal, in my opinion, just because the simplicity of this is very like, it's simple. So don't make it difficult. But whatever you're comfortable with, you can set. Just don't get too comfortable with what you're setting, because don't underestimate what you can do if you really just do it. So we want to reverse engineer, like based on what your goal is, we want to reverse engineer this. So let's say you're going to go ahead and set the goal for, since today is Thursday, you're going to set the goal for the 9th. And I know this call is called Emerald in 24 hours. So you totally can go Emerald in 24 hours, but it's a healthy goal to set to go there in the next week. Okay, I like to say that because that gives you a week. You can plan it out. You can come up with a system. You can come up with things that you're going to do each day in order to get there, right? Which is, so if we're reverse engineering it, that means we are posting every single day at least once, and probably more like twice. So some kind of a fitness, inspirational, motivational post about your fitness, about your journey, about health, about something. About coaching, whatever it is, okay? And then another post about your personal life. Who are you? What are you? What's your niche? What's your brand? Why are people going to trust you? Do they think you're funny? Do they feel like you're somebody they can relate to based on your posts? So if you're making a checklist, then this is just like a non-negotiable. You just show up every day and you show up on your stories. So on stories, you can be a little bit more like fun as far as like just posting products, posting, whatever, like just have fun on your stories and show up and try to give little nuggets on your stories about things. So I did a showcase of Shakeology on my stories a few days ago, and it was really actually like super beneficial. I hadn't stopped and taken the time to do that, where I like make my shake, but I actually talk about it. It's not just like, here's my shake, 365 dayer or 7 trips to the salad bar or whatever you want to say. Those are all good things. But what is it that makes Shakeology different? Because people want to know, because there's every single product out there, right? So what is it that makes it different for them to purchase? So I've also committed to myself just this week in showcasing Shakeology or another product with me talking, not just a picture, but actually with me saying, this you will not find, and this is what I said in my stories, you will not find a better shake. Like, I've done my research and you won't find it. And there's 7 grams of sugar, and there's 16 grams of protein, and there's over 70 superfoods, and there's digestive enzymes and probiotics and prebiotics and all this stuff. And it's vegan and it's plant-based and blah, blah, blah. And so what is it that you can share that you can show up a little bit more? Think about those things, and don't be afraid to really share the things that you love about all of this that you're doing. That's the stuff people want to see. Okay, so based on invites, this is another thing you kind of need to reverse engineer. Okay, so how many people do I think I need to talk to in order to get to this goal? And I don't have an answer for that. Nobody does. Because again, it's a timing thing. It's a numbers game. And like I said, you could reach out to 30 people and get 0, because it's just the name of the game, and it stinks and it's unfortunate, but it's okay, because you're dropping breadcrumbs, and those people, first of all, are going to start seeing your posts more, right? They might start paying attention to you a little bit more because you post it or because you messaged them. And the way Facebook algorithm is you're going to show up more in their feed as well if you have messaged them. That's not the way it is on Instagram, but that is the way it is on Facebook. So based on that, how many invites can you do each day? How many people should you be talking to? Brand new, at least 5 to 10. Like 1 new person a day, I'm sorry, it's just not going to probably move you in a very steady stream. And you need to up the invites. You need to up the conversations and make sure that you're getting new conversations going and that sort of thing. So does anybody and I'll just give you a couple examples to invites just to share, because I know invites are the thing that people get stuck on. As a newer coach, and even sometimes as a seasoned coach that you've been around for a while, it's like, here's the thing. If you don't do invites every single day and make it a priority to talk to people every single day, and you step away from your business and you step away from having those conversations, you will feel like you're kind of out of touch. It's like when you do a workout it's like when you work out and you don't work out for a few days, right? You skip a few days. Then you feel like you are just way behind. You kind of feel like you've lost your mojo. It's the same with messages. So a simple invite right now, for example, 10 rounds is available for customers on Monday. This is a big deal because a lot of people who don't necessarily want to sign up for the discount are going to be able to have access to 10 rounds on Monday, because even though you think they don't want to coach, they might want to coach, okay, once you get to talking to them. So here's my tip on how to talk to people and what you should lead with. I always lead with BOD. So I would reach out to someone and I might say, hey, how are you? Thank you so much for watching my stories or liking my post, whatever it is that I decide to say, or whatever the case was. I just wanted to reach out, and it's totally fine if you say no, but would you have any interest in doing this brand new boxing program with me? ? So that would be a simple invite that I would do, okay? So then say that they're like, oh yes, I've seen this, or I saw your post, or blah, blah, blah. I would like to know more information. So at that point, I'm going to lead with Beachbody On Demand. I think that it's a very wise thing to lead with Beachbody On Demand because you're able to give them the breakdown. You can tell them that it's 27 cents a day. So I would start out by saying, yes. So basically we stream all of our workouts from any device, anytime, as long as you have Wi-Fi. It's like Netflix for workouts. And you literally get around 65 programs and over 1,000 workout classes for 27 cents a day. So based on your interest and style of workout, we can find the right one for you. What kind of workout program do you typically like? ? So now you're throwing the ball back in their court, and you've just gave a ton of nuggets of like the Netflix, because who doesn't like Netflix? So you've given them the fact that this is like, you can stream it anytime from any device. It's 27 cents a day. There's a huge variety. You've given them numbers, like there's 65 workout programs and 1,000 workout classes. Like the variety's insane, whatever. Now you've thrown the ball back in their court, they're most likely to respond. So then they might come back and say like, yeah, so this sounds like something I'd really like to do. I really like HIIT workouts. So then you're going to come back and you're going to say, yeah, there's a ton of, whether you want a 20-minute HIIT workout or a 30 or whatever, the length of the time, whatever you want, they have it. And I don't know if you struggle with your nutrition like I do, but if you would be interested in learning more about Shakeology, that would help with that. Or if you're more of a pre and post workout kind of person, would you want, to maybe learn about those ? So you're dropping nuggets as you're talking to them, and you're kind of helping them see, because like, hello, who doesn't struggle with nutrition? So you've said that, you've basically said, you've related with them. Like, if you're like me, you struggle with nutrition. If you do, then I would love to share about Shakeology. Or if you're more of a pre and post workout kind of person, I would love to share with you, about those things, because you do get a significant discount if you were to order those with your on demand. Okay. So most likely they're going to just be open to learning about the supplements, but then you've opened the door for that without being like, okay, so if you purchase the challenge pack, it's $160 and then you get this and this and this. But if you just purchase the BOD, it's $99 for the year and blah, blah, blah. So you're not overwhelming them with information. You're kind of like layering it in. And this call's really not about conversations, but I want to share that with you guys. And I hope that helps you, just so that you kind of see like how simple it is to actually talk to people. The only thing you need them to say is that they want more information. And guess what? You can't control whether or not they say that they want more information when you send the initial invite. You can't control it. You know what you can control? How many invites you send every single day. So you can control that, but you don't know if they're going to be ready for information, but that's okay. Because like, we are dropping breadcrumbs. We're giving them exposure, because guess what? We're not going to stop showing up, and we're not going to stop doing this. So we're still going to be here in a year or a month or 6 months when they decide they want to jump in, right? So that's the mindset that you need to have when you're messaging and going about this. Try to take your emotions and feelings out of whether or not they say yes or no, because it's not personal. Lots of people are not going to work. How would you handle the money objection during a time like this? So I'm handling the money objection thing right now pretty lightly. Like, I'm all about objection. Like, tell me you can't afford it, or tell me you don't have time, or tell me whatever. Like, I can pretty much, because if you go to Starbucks every day, and if you go here or there, like, we all waste money on things, right? So if they want to find the money for it, they typically could. However, this is a very different time right now. And I would go lightly on, this is just my opinion. I don't back down easy. And I don't mean that in like I don't pressure people, but and here's why I say this, because sometimes when we hear no, it's not really no. It's that they are coming up with an objection that I think I could help them figure out a way that they could make this work. But right now with the money thing, I feel like you kind of almost have to offer them, if money's an issue, then I would rather offer them something free. Okay, well, that's okay. It's totally fine. Would you want to just do a 2-week free trial? Or I could send you this 10 sample workout document that I have with meal plans, and I'd still love to add you to my accountability group. Like, it's okay to get them in the door, because that's what we need to do right now. We need to just support them and help them no matter what. And you can explain and then at that point you could explain the 14-day trial, because maybe to them they're like, okay, $39 every quarter, I could handle that, and then they're still experiencing our groups. They're still getting a bunch of workout programs. And I just saw that BAR is actually going to be released on the 24th of April. So that's really cool, because it wasn't supposed to be released until June. And I think with all the stuff going on, they decided that they wanted to help people and they wanted to release it to BOD. So that's cool. So does that help you, Chad? Does that kind of help explain? Okay, good. I think objection is a really good thing to get good at, to help to kind of like, come back in a way that you can help them find a solution to whatever objection that they're giving you. But right now, it's hard. It's everything's so sensitive. I feel like it's too much for us to go like really hog wild and kind of combat the money objection. That's just my opinion. Okay, so the last thing, does anyone have any other questions? I can't think of anything else I really wanted. If you do give people the free workouts, do you reach out after a 2 week? Yes. So I would try to like keep track of the 13th day, Bree. Like, when is their Beachbody On Demand going to like renew? Or like, when are they going to be billed? And I would definitely reach out to them then and just kind of ask them, like, it's totally fine if you're good with what you have. I just want to let you know that, like, if you are liking the workouts, you could do a year for $99, which would actually save you $60, because it saves them about $60 if they were to do the year versus the quarterly. It saves them $60 a year. So kind of just explain that to them. But yes, I do. I like to do that if I can keep track of all that. And it's a good thing to do, because you might be able to upsell them to a challenge pack. You just never know, Going back to the right and left leg, how do you actually choose? I just send a share card to my feeling. Okay, so it's fine if you so you already signed a coach, is that right, Bree? Okay, that's fine. So at this point, is this an account that you want to control, or is this an account that you won't really have much to do with this account? Is that right? Or is this a husband, or is this a husband? Okay, that's fine. It's someone that you're like wanting to help build. You might build this a little bit. Okay, so if you just signed it the other day, so you have up to 5 days to change it. So I would check, is Lindsay your upline? Okay. So I would ask Lindsay, what leg is your right? Because it probably, my guess, and I'm not 100% sure, but usually it goes to your strong leg. Because what happens is, if you just signed a coach right now, the computer system automatically places it somewhere. And not somewhere, it places it usually on your strong leg. I think, I don't know. I think Lindsay has Rob on her strong leg, so I think we might differ on our outlook on this. So you can talk with her about that and see what she thinks. I just personally think that, and I've heard this a lot as I've built this business, that you want them on your weak leg. That's what I would do. That's my opinion. And it depends on who you talk to, because it just depends. I'm not going to go into all that, but just know that it's not like a huge deal. It's not like, oh my gosh, if he's on your strong leg, it's like the end of the world. It's okay. But I would think about changing it. And I would talk to Lindsay about it because she knows everything about it. So she'll be able to lead you in the right direction. You can easily change it though. You can do a placement change as long as it hasn't been over, I think it's 5 business days. So don't worry. But just see, because she'll help you. So basically that's it in a nutshell. As far as Emerald, I mean, we could go on and on about invites. We could go on and on about conversations, consultations. But I just want you guys to honestly like make a decision, because Emerald's a decision, and I want you to make a decision to just get there and know that you can, and know that like you're going to start, because Emerald's going to give you the boost that you need to continue. So you're going to find a couple people, and then you're going to like continue that. And your next step is going to be Ruby or Diamond. And that's like a really, really big deal. I mean, Emerald's a really big deal, but then it's going to help you to move forward. And we always want to be moving forward in our business, and kind of just like, maximizing our business and increasing our income, or whatever it is that you want, that you have with your goals. Emerald means 2 coaches under you. Yes. 1 on each leg. And they have to be active. So I didn't talk about that. In order for a coach to be active, you guys know what that means, but they have to be active. So say like you hit Emerald, but then like they didn't order the next month. Well, you would lose your Emerald rank if both coaches are not active. So that's why it's good to have a spouse account, because then as you continue to add people, you can actually let that spouse account go inactive if you want. But then if you need that spouse account, you can let it go active so that you could, keep your rank or whatever. I'm trying to think if there's anything I left out. Can't think of anything. Does anybody have any other questions? No? So write a date down on your paper, like when are you going to hit it by? Write that down. And then I would also just kind of have a plan, like, okay, for the weekend. So for tonight, maybe there's plenty of time to craft a post for tonight. I highly recommend that you do that. Everybody and their dog is on Facebook right now, and Instagram and whatever. Like the traction right now on your posts, it doesn't get any better than right now, because everybody's online because they're home. Not everybody, but you know what I'm saying? There's just a lot more people online right now. So craft a post tonight, and maybe think about, okay, what can I post this weekend? What are things that are on my heart or on my mind that I want to share? How can I show up just a little bit more this weekend in order to, because how you're going to get your invites is going to come from your posts and your stories, because the people that are engaging with you are the people that you're going to want to reach out to. And it doesn't mean you're going to maybe invite them the very first time they like your stuff, although I would, because guess what? If they liked your stuff, it's okay. Like they like you, and it's fine. You're just inviting them to join you and do what you're doing. It doesn't mean you're saying, hey, you want to buy this or that. You're just simply inviting them to join something that will change their life if they're willing to do it. So just don't underestimate and try not to overthink it, because if you have a good heart and you're leading with the things and you truly, genuinely want to help people, which I know we all do, then you're not doing anything wrong by simply inviting someone to do a program that costs 27 cents a day. I mean, let's be real. They couldn't get a gym membership for that. They couldn't join a fit club or whatever for that. And the amount of support and accountability and all the tools that they get with Beachbody On Demand is insane. So don't underestimate the gift that you have to give them and what you have holding in your hand. You just need to make sure you're giving it to them and passing out those business cards and continuing to show up, whether or not you're getting people to join you, whether or not people are liking your stuff. It doesn't matter, because you're going to start to get that. Because guess what? I always tell my team this. If someone says yes to you and they sign up as a coach tonight, what's that going to do for your momentum? It's going to drive you, like, you're going to ride that wave, and you're going to be excited that somebody said yes. So then what? You're going to use that momentum, and you're going to find the next person and the next person and the next person. So, you know, and then you're going to duplicate Emerald, and you're going to do it over and over and over again. You know, I went Emerald this week. Again, I went Emerald again because I signed 2 coaches, and they were discount coaches, but that's exciting, right? And I'm just duplicating Emerald over and over again, and that's what you guys will do after you hit it. So if you have any more questions, you guys message me. I'm happy to help you, and I'm excited to see you guys all hit Emerald. All right, you guys, let's do a quick picture just because it's fun. Hold on. Yes, we can. We're doing it. Let's do it. Okay. All right, boomerang. Okay, let's try it again. Hold on. Ready? Okay, hold on. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Yay! All right, you guys are awesome. I'll try to tag most of you if I can. But if you want a copy of the boomerang, just message me and I will send it to you, okay? Bye, you guys.